Hey there everyone, and welcome to the final of the Improvise, Adapt and Overcome tournament. We finally made it, and this has been a fun tournament along the way. So as always, big thanks to Sassolino and Interference for hosting this tournament. If you want to go check out the Discord, there's a link in the description to go do that and join the Discord. The tournament rules we talked about in the previous videos, so I'm not going to talk about them, other than to say, the main idea is we're making the opponent's team, and it has to be 206 cost. We're trying to mess them up as much as possible, giving them terrible stuff that they just can't play with. So this final is between me and Alex. We both made it through. I didn't have to do the semi-finals, but we saw that in the last video. It's going to be the final showdown, and what's really nice about this one is both of us have large collections, so we can build literally whatever we want, the worst kind of team possible. In some of the previous matches we saw people with smaller collections, and so there was a very limited pool you could draw from. Some of them hadn't unlocked the secret skill on a monster, and because it's a useless one, and therefore you can't actually use that in their team, annoyingly, to add in some extra cost. That wasn't the problem at all. We had almost all the super epics in the game to choose from, loads of legendaries to choose from. We could just fuck each other up as much as possible. So this was the team which I made for Alex, and it really kind of rounds up. I think this is, obviously I'm biased here, but I think this pulls together a lot of what we learned over the previous videos, and from the teams that people made. I think this is probably the worst team that anyone ever made. Now, we'll see how it does in the battle, but I do want to, talk through it and talk through some of the things which I learned. So, first up, the main thing that I'm going to be doing is giving him 3 monsters which are just completely useless, and leaving them in the battle for the entire time, and then killing off the 4th one at a time, going through his whole team. So the rest of the team, some of these monsters are really good monsters, but they're useless when they're the only thing that's any use on their side of the field, and also it's recently come in and being targeted first. For example, the team turn monsters in the middle, generally known as very strong monsters, but when they're coming in, they're actually very slow to get the team turn off. It's a slow monster in general. When it gets to its turn, it then has to pass 50 seconds, which it doesn't have any easy way to do. So it's not going to actually do anything for a few hundred seconds, which means it's really easy to kill off, before it actually does the team turn. Onlygeist, very similar. I'm talking about the mid game here. We've got Onlygeist, which only does the soul summon if a teammate has died. So if it's literally the first target you kill off, it can't do anything. When it comes in, all it can do is Dream Hunt and Bloodthirst. I haven't got the secret skill on, so it can't do the Death Sentence stuff. Stellar Shine, that really needs Link Water. There's a water monster behind it in a 1, a bit further forwards, but that's not really going to happen. Basically, it's got Finishing Snap, not Slap, and then Blood Fury. So he may be able to line that up and get Blood Fury going, but I doubt it. Most of the time it should be fine. Walker, 400-second Overblast, that's just basically not going to happen. Nauta Cruiser has to have the Nauta pods it makes in the battle in order to actually do any damage at all. With the secret skill it can, but the secret skill's not on. And then Mojonator, terrible for damage. Same thing for Solarial, and then also Lunar Lord, who's notorious for just being really bad. So that's kind of the bulk of the team. The second half of the team is bad monsters. Well, monsters that are bad when they're just coming in by themselves and being targeted first. The front half of the team is the kind of me setting up for that. So what I've got is a couple of Death Revenge monsters, which you may look at and think, why on earth am I giving him Death Revenge monsters? I'm doing that on purpose because I'm anticipating him doing something similar to me, where he gives me some terrible monsters in the front line, and I actually want them to die off, so I have more on the field that can actually do something. So it is a bit of a risk, and I will say in hindsight, and this isn't any kind of spoiler for the match that we're about to play, but just in hindsight, thinking about this, looking back at the team, I would say Ultimate Dragon, perfectly fine. I think putting 1 Death Revenge in there is probably good. However, Midas Dragon was a bit more risky, especially because of the Explosive Quartet. I don't really want the box draws in my team. At the time I was thinking, maybe I want the box draws to try and kill off my own monsters and stuff, but a lot of what the battles come down to is having health on your monsters, because you just do kind of basic attacks back and forth. You need your monsters to do high damage, you need them to survive. It's why moves like Heal All are actually really good in this kind of these kind of special rules. So having the box draws around isn't good for that. So I think Midas Dragon was a bit of a mistake. Another Death Revenge monster maybe would have been better. Death Revenge in particular is risky. Well, it's risky in general, and Midas Dragon especially was very risky. Then what I've got in the front line, this is what I'm going to mess him up with. I've got Arborgaius and Abyss Soldier Guardian. Now these two together, I talked about in a previous video, I literally put these two together in a previous battle against someone, and they work very well, because Arborgaius, you'll see also in the whole rest of the team, there aren't any Earth monsters whatsoever, so he's never going to have the Link Deathstroke. Raw Deathstroke and Solo Deathstroke are both shut off by the Abyss Soldier. So all Arborgaius can do is Kinslayer, and it's got low attack stat. Now that's actually quite an important note, that it's got low attack stat as well, because if it's going to sit there the whole time doing doing consistent damage, it needs to be low damage. Then the Abyss Soldier Guardian, both the solo moves shut off, so all it's got is Purify and the Ultra Bash duel. Then I've got Perpy. Now Perpy is kind of a funny one. When I put this Perpy up, I think it was Sassolino who said, when he saw the team, he was like, whoa, I'm surprised you put Perpy, that's a bit of a risk. I don't think it's a risk at all, to be honest, because in reality, even when you've got a bad team, it's quite easy to kill the new Perpy that comes in, and if they haven't got any other like monsters to gene recomposition, they have to have that new one that came in clone. If they don't, well then the whole thing's shut down and they're just stuck with a few Perpys. So Perpy is not a risk, and it's the one the third monster I plan to keep them with the whole battle. All it can really do is Headhunter, which is a reasonably good move, but it won't really have any critical targets because most of them are mythics, which he's not going to give me mythics, and it's got low attack stat too. So all three of those are pretty shit and are not really going to do any damage. They're just going to sit there and do not much. Now the fourth monster is White Titan. White Titan, it can't do true hit because of the Abyss Soldier, so I gave it retreat. The plan is I simply want him to retreat with that. It was a 16 cost monster that I could throw in that wasn't going to do very much. There's another protector at the back of the team in Lunar Lord, so it can't do true hit there either. And also there's a fire monster, which probably not going to leave him with Solarial, but I can shut down the solo moves if I want by leaving Solarial in there. So White Titan is at its worst in this team, and what I'll say a bit later on, that I was going to give a slight spoiler there. But yeah, so White Titan can't really do anything, it's just going to retreat. It also slows down Midas Dragon, because the plan there was that I'm going to kill Midas Dragon first, and I don't particularly want it to get a turn and use Explosive Quartet. So I tried to put the White Titan in there to do the retreat at the beginning to slow down Midas Dragon a bit, to give me a better chance at killing it off before it gets a turn. So that's kind of how this works, and the one monster I didn't mention is Devilborg. Devilborg in 7th position there. The reason why that's there is it's a backup. So if I have to kill the Perpy for whatever reason, or something else is dead of those 3 monsters that I was planning to leave alive for the whole battle, then Devilborg is my backup monster. This is something which I put in at the last minute. I can't remember what I had there before. I had a different monster that I planned to leave there as another bad monster. But I switched it to Devilborg because I figured Devilborg fitted the team a bit better. It's just got Link Survivor Plus, and there's like no other shadow monsters in the team other than Perpy, so that's not going to happen. I thought, yeah, this is good fit, it's going to work well. So my team that Alex made for me is also really bad, and this is where my whole strategy kind of fell apart a bit. Is that I really needed to be doing single target hits, and you'll see at some points in this team I don't have single target damage, namely the point where he's given me both Dragier and the Godfeather. That's going to be a problem because I really need to hit single targets and not hit the other monsters. So I was looking at this and I was thinking, I really don't know if I can pull together my strategy, but let's have a look at what he made of mine. So what he did at the beginning was he gave me the second form Aetherian and Demon Toad. Those 2 monsters are going to shut down the other monsters in my team. Very nice and unique, well put together, because the next 4 monsters all have some kind of stunning entrance, which is going to be stopped by the Aetherian. Now his plan is that he's going to leave the Aetherian there as he kills some of my monsters, or I sacrifice some of mine, which we'll get to in a second. Then my stunning entrance stuff will come in, it won't stun him, and then he can kill off my Aetherian guy before it starts using double survivor. That was his plan, pretty solid. That kind of thing I normally say is a bit of a risk, but I think actually with this team which he's made for me, it's not going to be too much of a risk, because he gave me both the Fluffridra and the Solarial next in line with the secret skill, both of these having ultimate sacrifice, I'm going to be using that to kill things of his, and so two monsters of his are going to come in, and I'm going to get through that stunning entrance stuff faster than I normally would, so it will probably get through that stuff before Aetherian has double survivor, or close enough. And then Demon Toad with the gravity field means that I can't send back any of those shocking entrance monsters. And also, if it's still around when I have the God Feather and Dragia, I can't retreat with them. And then also Grovodius in the front line, I can't do pullback to create the Sprigolo. So those two monsters are really going to shut down the rest of the monsters in that first half. That's his idea there. Now I will say, slight thing though, which I think I mentioned in one of the previous videos, those shocking entrance monsters, while yes, you can stop the shocking entrance stuff from happening, they still have very high attack stat. Along with Time Strike, that is, a reasonable move. It's much better than a basic attack, and a lot of the time we're going to be doing basic attacks in this kind of special rule. And also they have a pretty effective killer move. Siberian in particular, EMP has a lot of targets. If you remember from the team which we just looked at, the team Alex is going to be playing, there's actually a few birds and a few robots in there, so both Siberian and Night Lord are going to have good targets. So yeah, those three shockers are actually going to do a good job. Looking at this team, I was thinking, okay, those are my main damage dealers. Those are what I need to protect and what I need to make work in this. There is a heal in front of them. There's also a heal not too far behind them. Like if Demon Toad's gone, then I can retreat with those with the Godfeather and Dragia and get to my heal, as well as what's it called, Aegis Dragon that can protect them. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, get those shocking entrance monsters on the field, start using them to kill the enemies, and they've got, single target damage as well, which is the important thing for me. So after that, he's given me a couple of super epics which he feels are bad. I actually quite like them. The Sanguine Nymph has a switch friend that can be useful. If I've sent back one of those shocking entrants, I can switch friend into one. Also, it's got Accelerate Team. Bundle Blazer, it's a bit of a weird one to throw into this. It's like, yeah, it can't do damage to begin with, but it's actually just going to slow down the whole match and be really annoying. And then he's given me Nox Dragon that's kind of like quite a boring, mediocre monster in this kind of setup. It needs Shadow. And then Walker, which I similarly gave him Walker. It's not going to get the 400-second Nova Blast. So in general, he gave me a lot of kind of basic attack monsters. He had a really cool first half. It's hard to see how it will go. There's a few heals in my team, which should be interesting. And I will say now, this battle was incredibly long. You're probably looking at this video and seeing it's slightly longer than the previous ones. The battle, before I sped it up, was 25 minutes long. It was the longest by far of all the battles, I think I'm right saying that. I've sped it up, so it's just about 15 minutes. So yeah, let's get into the battle without any further ado. At the start here, I completely forgot that my gravity field was actually going to stop White Titan from retreating, so I was planning to do Ultimate Sacrifice on the Midas Dragon, which meant I'd avoid the whole Explosive Quartet. But yeah, and I wondered why he didn't do the retreat at the beginning. Now Gravodius, normally I'd Protect Focus here, but he's going to Kinselare it with Arbagias, so I thought I may as well do the hit. When it came to Fluffy Drew, I was thinking, do I do the Ultimate Sacrifice, or do I just hit all? Now in hindsight, I think it probably would have been better just to give it a bit of time, hit all, and just slowly chip down that White Titan, because Sancta Guard I want to keep alive maybe for the double survivor and everything, but in the end I decided to just do the Ultimate Sacrifice, which means that Midas Dragon is going to get a turn and do that Explosive Quartet that I didn't really want it to do. Just do a bit of Time Warp to, pass the time for double survivor. The Abyss Soldier Guardian, he's trying to decide. He's actually just purifying. I'm slightly surprised by that he's not doing the hit all just yet. I think maybe he doesn't know exactly what he wants to kill off. So he did the Explosive Quartet there. Perpy, he had done the Blood Clone. Might be trying to go for the Perpy, which is kind of funny. Or maybe he's just adding in an extra monster, so, might get extra hit in there or something. So Demon Toad, I've done the Enrage. I was able to use it to kill Midas Dragon there pretty nicely. Gravodius died. I don't mind about that at all, because it was going to be killed by Kinslayer anyway. I'm trying to wonder as well, do I Enrage anything here? I think not. Okay, so can kill off this new Perpy. Like I said, pretty easy, no problem at all. Now the Perpy's down, he's not going to get the Delta Super Beam or whatever it's called. Start doing some damage to Ultima Dragon. Enraged Demon Toe can do good damage to it, so I'm just going to have to hit it a few times with that. He's trying to kill off my Sancta Guard now at this point. It's because of that double survivor he's scared of. So at this point I was wondering, do I maybe heal up the Sancta Guard, or like, purify to pass some time to then heal it up to try and go for the double survivor, but I decided not to. I can't remember if I said whether I was going to decide in the battle whether or not I was going to do it. I decided not to, and then I decided to go for the double survivor here. I was kind of really touch and go. I wasn't sure what to do about that. So now the plan is to leave Devilborg on the battlefield the whole time rather than Perpy. In hindsight, probably should have just stuck with Perpy, but we'll see how it goes. So now I'm just going to be killing off that new monster on the right every single time. Siberian can do the EMP to kill it. Now, I was really surprised that he didn't kill off my Siberian there. I really thought he was going to with the Kinslayer. I messed up. I should have done the heal all with Solero a bit earlier on or something. I can't remember exactly how it lined up, but I was very surprised he didn't do that. And then I didn't quite lose my Siberian. I thought I was going to lose Siberian at that point, but unfortunately I really wanted to keep that Siberian, and then it died off this way, and he's going to kill it now with Bloodthirst. I was very disappointed by that. I messed up with the playing, I'm sure. So now that Oniguys does have one kill, which is a slight problem, because it will have reasonable damage on the Bloodthirst. So I go in with the Time Strike. There, just keep hitting it. Can't hit it with either of these monsters, but I can actually use the instant backbite on Dragia very nicely to get rid of that box jaw before retreating. So now I've set up my kind of damage dealing setup here with Aegis Dragon. V-Rabbits can heal them up as well, hopefully we can just do the single target damage dealing. So Oniguys can't do much. He does the Bloodthirst, does pretty good damage to the Aegis Dragon. I said can't do much, sorry. It can do reasonable damage there with that. Now the Celestians come in. He can't do much, but he can do the short stun on Aegis Dragon. So at this point, I should probably heal all, but I stupidly don't. I do Overwatch. I don't know why. I was looking at this, I knew immediately that I messed up when I did that. I was like, he's got so many turns in a row. Oh no, he's going to kill my monsters. And he does Ultra Bash. Sure enough, it doesn't quite kill them, but then he can follow it up with the Giga Dusk and kill off my Night Lord. Oh my god, I had the setup, I had everything planned, it was all going to work how I wanted it to, and then I messed up by not doing heal all at that point. Really stupid. I really regretted that. I think if I hadn't made that mistake, I probably would have won this, because things would line up. I'd have my consistent damage, I'd have the Time Strike, and the 2 killer moves. So an important thing here with Time Strike, you can go old school Time Strike with this kind of setup under these special rules, where you just skip behind a monster because you have 2 monsters there before their turn, and then it means that you can, they're forced to use a move or whatever, and you can Time Strike them and do good damage. It's actually a really good way of dealing damage in this kind of, under these special rules. Now, something I didn't realise is that I can actually send back that box jaw with my Celestian. I didn't realise it for quite a long time. I should have done it a lot earlier, but I didn't. I'll do it at some point. So the plan's still going as expected. Alex is doing the best job he can with the Arbogast and Abyss Soldier Guardian. He took full advantage of my mistakes earlier on. So yeah, fair play to him. He's doing nicely there. I mean, he doesn't have much choice in the way of things. It's just mainly damage attacks and Celestine doing short stun right now. So yeah, I think I realised at this point that I can send back the box jaw, so I'll do it next turn. But you can see how he really can't do much damage with the stuff he has, whereas my Celestian is doing pretty nice damage each time it gets a turn. He's doing Purify a lot with the Abyss Soldier Guardian. I think he's trying to maybe line it up to get the Aegis Dragon to hold ground at the right point, because you don't want to get Aegis Dragon down into Desperate Bite territory and then for it to do the Desperate Bite. So here, because I had to pass 30 seconds with the bundle blaze, I've sped up the footage. We have a few skips like this, which I'll speed up. Because you can probably see, it's down to the last few monsters, but there's quite a lot of battle left to go. We start stalling out here, and this is where I realise I went wrong with Nautic Cruiser, and I haven't seen it just yet, but I made a big mistake, which I made sure I didn't point out when I talked about my team, and that is, I completely forgot Devilborg has sacrifice heal. So there's a couple of stuff at the back of this team which he doesn't mind sacrificing to heal this Nautic Cruiser. So here I am, chipping it down, totally fine, and then suddenly, oh no, Nautic Cruiser's on full health again. So these Nautipods, like, they're not too much trouble, but he's going to make loads and loads of them by continuing to heal the Devilborg. Yeah, this is a problem, and it's one that I really should have foreseen, and it got pointed out to me afterwards, like, oh, this should have been, really obvious, you should have seen this. I pointed out on other people's teams where they've made something that I think's pretty obvious, and yeah, this was mine. So we're going to see how it can go from here. I mean, the battle stalls out for a long time. He just keeps doing call supply, call supply, call supply. The Devilborg, he's lining up things with using the Purifier on Abyss Soldier Guardian, because he's still trying to take down my Aegis Dragon. And I'm now having to use Purify on my Aegis Dragon because I need to line up the Desperate Bite at the time it gets onto low health. So I've got Aegis Dragon not doing anything, I've got Boxjaw not really doing anything because it doesn't do much damage. I'm not killing off that Nautic Cruiser quickly at all, and he's slowly making more and more Nautipods. When someone skips with so many of their monsters, they really take control of the battle, because you can't do, you really can't do much in terms of the, if you can skip with, well, you can't even skip with a monster really, because they just skip back. But, sorry, my point there is, when they have so many monsters skipping, you can skip back to one of them, but not to the next one. So he still maintains control and is able to keep skipping with something like Devilborg or Arbogast. And the Abyss Soldier Guardian having the fast Purify means that, he's able to continue doing that. And I can't afford to do it because I need to keep hitting this Nautic Cruiser to try and, bring its health down to kill it off. I'm not even sure how many Nautipods he's got now. It must be like 6 or 7. I know there's a Bundle Blazer in there, like in the middle of the Nautipods. There's going to be something at the back as well. I can't remember now what's left in his team. I think it's the Solarial and a Walker or something like that. Or Lunar Lord is actually at the back. I think he's sacrificed the Lunar Lord though. So now I've finally brought Nautic Cruiser down to hold ground. Things lined up, and I was able to keep my Aegis Dragon alive, but my Celestian died. So now I'm trying to work out, how do I get the kills on the right things and, prepare for these Nautipods that are going to come in. I don't really know how best to do it, but so I accelerate Nox Dragon because I figure I need to have it accelerated. I do the mini blight there, just behind, so it's just behind the Nautipod. Now I can Desperate Bite it, but I don't because I need to make sure, my Aegis Dragon stays alive. So it needs to get a reasonable heal and that kind of stuff, when Nautipod's not going to heal it reasonably. So he's better to hold ground now. I've got another turn with Nox Dragon. Thinking, do I get the kill on Nox Dragon? Yeah, I'll grab it now. It's probably better to have a kill on Nox Dragon in case the Link Bloodthirst comes up. Now, Desperate Bite, I could have done it on Nautipod, but I wanted a better heal, so I did it on the Abyss Soldier Guardian. Then I did Pedal Storm on Nautipod. I really thought that would bring it to hold ground. It didn't. I was so annoyed. If I'd done Ultra Quake there, it would have gone to hold ground, and then I could have grabbed a kill on Walker and started to charge Walker's Bloodthirst. But really annoyingly I didn't, and these Nautipods are a massive pain to kill, because they can heal every 50 seconds. So I could hit it now, but then it's just going to heal up. Then I could hit it again with Godfeather, it's going to heal up again before Sanguine Nymph can hit it. Like, they're just such a pain. So I did Stealth All, I couldn't skip behind it really. Here all I can really do is hit all, so I did that. He can heal again, or he could do damage to something. He tries to kill off my Walker, which doesn't quite do it, but it does bring it down onto low health. Again, if I had got the kill on Walker, he doesn't actually have anything else that can do good damage to Walker. So that Bloodthirst is a real possibility. I could have got to it. And yeah, anyway. didn't manage to get it. So I managed to get the second kill on Nox Dragon here. Now this time, as I'm going to get a turn with Sanguine Nymph, I know this time to use Ultra Quake. So I use Ultra Quake to put, and sure enough, easily puts Nautipod down to 1 HP. But he's doing a really good job here. I haven't got much left in my team. He even decides to heal the Nautipod. Damn him. So yeah, I've only got 6 monsters left, and one of them's a box draw. So one of them's a box draw and 2 of them on low health. He's got so many Nautipods back there. It's really tough to get through this. I decided to send Walker back because I know he's going to kill it off otherwise, and I'm thinking the only way I can really hope to get to this is, get to the end of this, is to try and set up that Nova Blast. And I need to try and somehow get into a better position where I can let enough time pass to get Nova Blast charged. So that's the reason why I sent it back, which, to be honest, it's not going to happen, but I tried. So he heals up his Nautipod again, and he's doing a brilliant job of killing off these things. Arbogast, using the Kinsler and Dragier, took that down very nicely. Now we can basically just hit all. Yeah, so I hit all. I start bringing other stuff in. You know, the whole strategy's out the window now. It's just desperately trying to kill off these last monsters of his. Well, I say last. He's still got 10 monsters, and I'm only on 4. It's really not looking good for me. He kills the Godfeather. Boxjaw valiantly gets a kill on Nautipod, does it? Do I go for the Nautipod? No, I'm scared. I'm thinking maybe I'll grab the kill on Walker, because I can grab 2 kills on Walker. Yeah, I'll do that. So I hesitantly go for Bloodthirst, but I'm thinking, no. Assisted wave, get the 2 kills, and then just hope it somehow gets a turn. Bundle Blazers coming in, I knew that was going to happen too, and poison the Nautipods, which means they were going to be easier to kill. So I was able to take down 1 there, but annoyingly, I don't know if I can make it from here. Well, actually, looking at it, I can kill those 2 Nautipods before they get to use the blast, because Nox Dragon's going to get a turn within 50 seconds. So he heals them up or whatever. I was actually surprised. Oh no, sorry, he healed a different one up to do the damage there. He then passes time with Bundle Blazer. Then I can use Assisted Dusk to kill off those 2 Nautipods. I instead decide to skip because nothing's actually charged, and I want to pass as much time as possible to try and get to Walker's turn. I then skip again, and that's because he needs the second charge to kill Nox Dragon, and he can't kill the Walker. He charged the same Nautipod again, so now it can kill something. So I was able to get an extra skip there, which is very nice. I think, to be honest, he probably should have just done the energy, laser blast after the 1 charge. But anyway, doesn't matter. Now he's got lots of Nautipods there. Be lovely if I had 400-second Nova Blast, but I don't. There's no way I can get out of this. They're going to heal way too frequently. I need piercing to kill them, or poison, or something like that, and it's not going to happen. So I just do hit all, and basically it's handed to him. So yeah, Alex won this tournament. Great job to him. This final battle was kind of crazy. It's funny how it came down to a Nautipod army, and ultimately I would say my mistake there, absolutely my mistake. Giving him Nautacruiser I don't think was a terrible idea. It was the fact that I left him with something that could heal the Nautacruiser. There are a number of ways how I could have avoided that in the battle. I just didn't really think about it at all. It caught me by complete surprise when he healed the Nautacruiser, and then I realised I have no way of getting out of this. I can't kill the Nautacruiser fast enough, and I lost my best damage leaders through mistakes as well. I'm sure Alex would say there's various mistakes he made, but from my side and watching the footage, it looks like he did a great job. So great job to him. Well done for winning this tournament, Alex. I hope you all enjoyed watching this. It was pretty crazy, and some really long battles in there. My ones being especially long, like this one here. But yeah, that's it from me. Thanks for watching this video. The next videos that are going to come out are the reviewing all the monsters that came out in 2020. I know I'm like 2 months late on that, or maybe 3 months. Yeah, we're going to get to that next. Really sorry for the delay. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, and bye.